I didn't see you there. My name's Zero Mayo. I'm a senior at Hialeah Senior High, and today I will be participating in my discourse community for Call of Duty. Come, let me show you. Before we begin, I'd like to explain why I am speaking on the Call of Duty community. My reason for it is because ever since I was a little kid, I've loved player versus player games. The feeling that you get when you're in the middle of a match, trying your hardest to win the game under that obscene and almost obsessive amount of pressure gives you this sense of accomplishment and adrenaline that you could get from falling from a helicopter or going to the gym for 3 hours and giving it your all. Speaking of which, I would like to express to you all the expectations of what it's like to be in the Call of Duty community. One of those expectations that you should have is to never, ever assume that everything's going to be respectable. It is extremely competitive. This game is all about winning. There is no room for error. There's no room for mistakes. You make one of those mistakes and you will lose. You will die. And that's why this game is so important. It's so special because it teaches you the meaning of being decisive, of being affirmative with what you're going to do. If you're going to go inside of a building, you have to make sure that you are willing and ready to confront whoever is inside of that building if there is anyone at all. And that is just one of many expectations that you should have coming into this game. The second thing that I would like to mention are the slang terms of the Call of Duty discourse community. Now, why would I want to mention this? It's because if you're someone who is new coming into the game, you need to understand what it is that people are trying to communicate towards you. Your teammates might say certain things like there's someone on your 6, or are you going to use an AR or a SMG? For those people who are new, they need to understand these terms before coming into the game to help them better communicate with their teammate. That is the whole point of the game, to work as a team, to defeat your opponents in player versus player matches, or in certain game modes such as Battle Royale or Team Deathmatch. Some of these slang terms may include things such as PvP, or player versus player. Another thing that they might ask you is whether or not you're going to use an AR, or an SMG, or an LMG. AR stands for Assault Rifle, SMG stands for Submachine Gun, and LMG stands for Light Machine Gun. These names are used to describe the certain weapons that there are within the game, and you might see these slang terms in a team lobby but just before you're going to queue up for a game, which is another slang term. Queuing up means that you're getting ready to start a game. Another thing you might hear is their one tap, or their low, go rush, which essentially means that your teammate may or may not have died to an opponent, but that opponent is very low on health. Sometimes it's a little bit more than what they say, sometimes it might be a little less. But the reason that they're giving you this call out is so that you can go and try to get the kill before anyone else comes to take it, or before they can recover their health. Now, the final thing that I'd like to mention before the video is over is the hierarchy system. Now, the way that the hierarchy system works in Call of Duty is pretty unique, because the way that we as the players interact with it is completely and absolutely based on competition. What do I mean by that, you might ask? Well, let's say that I am someone who is the veteran rank, and I see someone who is in the elite rank. Well, my job as part of this competitive hierarchy is to challenge said player and see who is better. But why would I do that, you ask? Well, there are multiple reasons. One, to see how my skill compares to this player who is much higher ranked than I am. And two, to see just how much I would gain from killing or defeating someone who is of a much higher rank than I am, which in turn will give me more rewards and more experience to level up, to get more weapons, and to gain, again, a higher rank. Before we end this video off, I'd just like to say that this game is one that is very near and dear to my heart. I grew up playing Call of Duty, and it would be awesome for me to see other people experience the same adrenaline rush, the same high-intensity gameplay, and just enjoy, just have fun with this game. It's something that I don't see people do a lot anymore, and I would really appreciate it if other people, at the very least, gave it a try. Just to see how they feel, you know? But other than that, I thank you all for listening, and I'll catch y'all later.